Hello and welcome back to Jacob's Toys 5-minute figure reviews. Please do like, share, subscribe, all of those things. All support to the channel is very much appreciated. And in this video we are taking a look at Marvel Legends Shriek from the Armadillo Build-A-Figure wave, also penned as the Spider-Man No Way Home wave. Very excited about this figure as it is the first time we are seeing the new female Buck. So let's dive straight in and see what she holds. So straight out of the box, this is the figure as she is. Your standard looking female body, but obviously there are a few differences which we'll get into shortly. You've got two additional hands which are like the open holding hands, even though she doesn't come with anything to hold, and you come with two closed fists as well as the open palm hands on the body itself. And you get the big piece of the Armadillo Build-A-Figure, but I will get into him in a later video, but you can see just how big he's going to be when you hold it up next to a female figure. Now, as I said at the beginning, this is the new Buck for the female body molds. So this is what we hopefully will see a lot of the generic female bodies on. It's got the double jointed elbows, which we haven't previously had on female figures. We did have it on the Ironheart figure, I think, but obviously she was a bit unique. But this is your kind of standard, kind of plain body mold that will get used hopefully on a lot of figures moving forward. So the double pinned elbows is a huge upgrade from obviously what we had previously. You can get her into a lot more poses than you could previously. And now obviously because it's a new body mold, she's also pinless. So you've got pinless legs and pinless arms and double jointed knees and elbows, which makes the female figures a lot more poseable compared to what we had obviously previously. Now, for anybody that's not familiar with the character Shriek, she is a Spider-Man villain, most notably recognised from the Maximum Carnage story arc, where she obviously becomes the lover of Cletus Cassidy, better known as Carnage, and they kind of create this little kind of Carnage family and wreak havoc on Spider-Man and various other heroes. We see Spider-Man and Venom team up. It's a really awesome 90s comic run. If you have a chance, do go and pick it up or go and read it on Marvel Unlimited. It's definitely worth a look. But yeah, so essentially she's Carnage's wife. Now the head sculpt is really nice. What I would have preferred is maybe an alternate head which has got kind of maybe her shouting or something, because this obviously has that kind of sinister smile, which does work for the character, but it would have been nice to have an alternate look for perhaps photographs or display. Now her powers, as you may have seen in the recent Venom Let There Be Carnage movie, is essentially like sound manipulation, so she can kind of scream at the top of her voice. Now this is a custom I did a long time ago. I'm just getting her out to kind of put her side by side. She worked, she was okay for the shelf. I wanted to finish off that Maximum Carnage kind of setup, so she kind of worked for the time being. I used a modern black cat, I think it was, but I'm really pleased that they gave us an official one, because A, she's got double jointed elbows, and B, she just looks a lot better than my old custom did. So yeah, as I was saying, we did see the character in Venom Let There Be Carnage, so it's great to see the character kind of on screen. A very different kind of interpretation of the character, because as you can see in the comic book, she's got this really kind of black and white Domino looking thing going on. She's very similar looking to Domino, I'm not going to lie, in the way that she looks. But yeah, so it was great to see her on screen and actually get a bit of screen time and hopefully become more of a well-known character. So here she is next to her lover, Cletus Cassidy. Now this, even just these two stood next to each other, just screams Maximum Carnage to me. It's such a cool comic book, and there's so many different characters in it. It's the one that we see Doppelganger, that we got Doppelganger a couple of years ago now, actually, that kind of six-armed demon version of Spider-Man. We got him quite a while ago. And obviously we recently got the Goblin as well as the Build-A-Figure, so we are getting there. There is one member left. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Go and look at the comic book and you'll see what I mean, but we are slowly building up that Carnage family. Shriek was definitely a main part of that, so I'm really pleased that they have actually given her to us. But yeah, these double jointed elbows are cool. I like this little bracelet as well. It's like a little bracelet, so if you do change the hands over, be careful, because that bracelet is loose and you'll probably lose it if you're not paying attention. But apart from the belt and the bracelet, there isn't much to her. Obviously it's a new head mold by the looks of it, and there's like molded earrings on it as well, but the costume doesn't require a lot. I mean, if you look at her in the comics, she pretty much does look like this. Now she has shown up in various other comics you know, throughout time, so there are slight variations on the way she looks, but essentially this is true to her kind of look. If you say Shriek, you imagine this kind of costume with this kind of one eye and like one coloured eye, one opaque eye, and the white face with the black lipstick. I mean, it's just perfect. It's right off the page for me. It's definitely 90s. She's a relatively new character. She was introduced in the 90s. It was the early 90s, around 92, 93, I think. So yeah, so I'm really pleased that we've got her. She's definitely worth picking up, even just for the fact that she's the new female Buck, the first in the new female body mould. But yeah, all in all, really cool figure. As I say with a lot of my Marvel Legends, really pleased with it. If you're enjoying the 5-minute figure reviews, please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.